to understand sand, we need to understand an important geological process called weathering. Weathering is the breakdown of a rock into small particles. And as an example of how that occurs, let's look at a rock called granite. Granite is an igneous rock. It works real well for this discussion because we can see the individual mineral grains in it. As granite weathers and breaks down, several things happen. Some of the dark minerals in it, as well as the feldspar in it, will react with water and form new minerals, new materials, and some of the material will even dissolve, so it won't be there. But the third mineral, the third substance that's in sand is in granite is a whole different story, and that's quartz. Quartz, which looks like this in a crystalline form, is one of the hardest minerals, and it's one of the most durable. It resists weathering. So if we were to allow this granite to sit outside for a couple of years, or more properly a couple of centuries, it would break down into particles, and the feldspar in it, the pink and the white, would sort of decompose. The black minerals would do the same. But the gray areas of quartz would break down to a smaller size, but they would be unchanged chemically. And that's where most sand comes from. So if you go to a beach and look at all the grains of sand and look at them under a microscope, most of the sand on the earth is made of the mineral quartz. The other thing that you'll notice if you look at quartz under a microscope or even a hand lens is that quartz grains are very, very irregular. They have sharp edges because they don't break along flat surfaces. And you can see this with quartz on a large specimen. Down here, now this is a crystal. It has flat surfaces, but it didn't break here. These actually grew. But if this thing broke off, which it did, you can see that the breakage was not along a flat surface, very irregular. So if you look at a sand grain magnified, you're going to see a very rough, very sharp, gritty-edged material. Now, one of the most amazing things in the world is that you can go to places where you have sand that isn't made of quartz, and some sand isn't even light in color like quartz sand is. An example is the Hawaiian Islands. If you go to the Hawaiian Islands, you're looking at islands made entirely by volcanic activity, and the Hawaiian Islands are made of a rock that we call basalt. And when basalt weathers and breaks down, you're going to get black sand on those beaches, which visitors for the first time are always amazed to see that. And that's because in most areas of the world, as we said, sand is going to be quartz. But if you look at other places where you have other types of rocks and don't have quartz available, you'll get another type of sand, but it's not real common.